Hey guys, Sandy here and welcome back to the channel. Today I am scrapbooking a coffee love photo. I'm using this cute stamp of the month for October from Brutus Monroe and a couple other fun products. So let's see what I can do. So I'm going to start out by placing my stamp on an acrylic block, and I'm just going to ink it up with some Raven Detail ink, which is my absolute favorite black ink ever. It is a permanent black ink. And then I am going to kind of keep stamping this little cute unicorn guy all the way across in my coffee cups because I'm going to create a border on my page. Now today I am scrapbooking an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook layout. My normal size is a 12 by 12 page. However, there are a couple things I want to say about 8.5 by 11 scrapbook pages. You can always pop that bad boy on a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock or pattern paper and voila, you have a 12 by 12 page. Or you could just make sure that you have another 8.5 by 11 page to go on the back side of it and pop it right into your album. I do both. Sometimes I don't have another 8.5 by 11 layout for that particular area of the album, and I'll just pop an 8.5 by 11 layout on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I am going to go ahead and fussy cut these guys out. I am not cutting them out individually. I'm cutting them out all in one continuous piece. That way I have a great little border going on. Now you could definitely do this with a 12 by 12 layout. You could do this with a card. You could do this with a traveler's notebook. You just have to figure out how many times you need to stamp your little unicorn guy across the page to make yourself a border. I am leaving an ever so slight white halo around the edge of it. And I am actually not going to color this, and I made this decision purposefully. So I have, this is a very neutral layout, guys, and even my photo is very neutral. I'm wearing a white sweater or a cream sweater with, gray, and my coffee cup is a gray coffee cup. That's actually Jack Skellington if you can't see in the photo. And then I'm also using khaki cardstock and black cardstock. So I've got a very neutral palette going on here. I felt if I colored my little dude in the cups, it really would have been a bam, wow, in your face thing, and it would have pulled away from the other parts of the layout. And I really didn't want that to happen. Now I'm going to go ahead and map my photo on this black sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to run the cardstock down all the way to the bottom of the page. I am using the grid mat that I work on top of just to keep it kind of straight, and then you can see my little border is going to go across the bottom of the photo here. So I trimmed off that black cardstock that was sticking off the bottom, and now I've got this guy down here, and I think he's really cute. And because my layout is very neutral, I am going to add a little bit of oomph by placing this little border guy on some foam squares, and that's just going to lift it up off the page ever so slightly. And I'm going to just cover up, see how I have no bottom edge of the photo showing? That kind of makes it look like the photo and the border are integrated together. Now, I do love this little sentiment about life happens, coffee helps. My original idea was maybe continuously stamp it all the way around that black sheet of cardstock, but I decided not to do that. I decided to just stamp it on some white cardstock, and then I'm going to make it into a tab that is going to go on the top of the photo. So we're just going to stamp that and make it happen. I do cut off a little bit extra on the bottom. That way I can truly make this a tab. And I'm eyeballing this tab, you guys, and it's good enough. It looks close enough to me, so that's the way I'm going for it. If you want it to really make this perfect, you could punch it out with a tab punch, you could measure, you could do all that. But as you guys know, I'm kind of a make it happen person, and you know, done is better than perfect in my book. And that might be a little bit of a radical thought to some of you. And that's okay, because if you would rather spend the time making sure that your tab is absolutely symmetric and perfect, and that makes you happy, then by all means go for it. Me, I'd rather have it done and move on to the next thing. I am using a used up washi tape roll. I did have some washi tape left on this roll, but it was my closest one, and I can't find my little used roll that's usually sitting right in front of me on my desk. So I'm just going to ink up the washi tape roll with my detail ink once again, and I'm just kind of making little rings. And these are supposed to be reminiscent of coffee rings, and if you're looking at this layout and you don't get that, they just like circles to you, I'm cool with that. Like, it doesn't matter to me. What I am going to do is outline the edge of the khaki colored cardstock with a black pen. This is something that I do when I feel like the page is just kind of exploding out there and it's not really contained anywhere. And I just think that that little doodly pinned edge kind of contains the layout. I am bringing in these absolutely gorgeous gold sparkle sequins. You can pick these up in the Brutus Monroe shop. They are probably by far my favorite gold sequins ever. There are two sides, obviously, because it's a sequin, but okay. Ignore that doofy comment right there. There are two sides to the sequin. One is a super sparkly, and one is a little bit more muted, and you could go either way. For this layout, I decided to go super sparkly because this is a very neutral layout, and I felt like it needed a little bit more oomph. So I just did 3 dots of glue in 4 different places, which is a little bit odd for me because I like odd numbers. But I did put them in 4 different places instead of 5 or 3. And I think this time that's fine. Like, you know, usually my own rule is that I like odd numbers of things. But I have 4 unicorns in a coffee cup. So if I have 4 areas of sequins, it totally works. Now I'm pulling out this stamp set. So this is the bold alphabet, uppercase outline. As you guys know, the bold alphabets are my favorite stamp alphabets ever. I just love them so much. They're great because they have more than one of each letter, so you can spell out words at one time. I do spell out drink up. I'm inking it up with my detail ink yet again, and I'm using my acrylic block. Now, usually when I am stamping out words for letters for words, I do use a MISTI, but this time, honestly guys, I was too lazy to lean over to grab the MISTI when my acrylic block was already out. So now I am off trying to find a small paintbrush and my Gilded Aqua Pigment, and the only thing I'm going to do is take this small paintbrush and paint on the inside of the letters so that the letters will be gold instead of just black and white. Now I do a couple layers on this. I do paint on 2 layers of the Gilded Aqua Pigment, and that's just to give it a little bit more oomph behind that gold. Because my sequins are super gold and sparkly, I needed to make sure that my title was going to be super sparkly and gold as well. So I have drink up, and I'm just trying to figure out where I wanted it to go. Originally, my thought was going to be to have the drink up all the way across underneath of the little dudes in the coffee cups, but that didn't really look good to me. So I decided to go ahead and place them in 2 lines. And then as you can see, my original thought was to have up kind of extending past drink, and I end up not doing that. Up kind of indents into drink a little bit, but that's perfect because that gave me a little place to use more of my stamp set. Now this stamp set is the stamp set for the month of October for Brutus Monroe. It is a subscription stamp set, so it's really fun. You automatically get this 3x4 stamp set every month. It's a new one each month, and they are super super fun. It usually has a larger icon, a little sentiment, and sometimes little extra bits like these little coffee beans that I am going to stamp with here. So I just put each of the coffee beans in each area of my kind of, coffee rings or circles, whichever you're looking at them at. And then I'm going to add on just a little bit of journaling. And as you can see, I'm trying to really make an effort to keep my space a little bit cleaner instead of being a maniac and just having stuff everywhere. So I'm just journaling here about my husband making me coffee on the weekends. It's a great way to like get pepped up when really the only thing I want to do is sleep in. I am a retail manager. I work every other weekend, so my weekends off, I really just want to sleep in. That doesn't get to happen all the time. So I add on the date of October 2020, and then that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click that subscribe button and then ring the bell so you get notifications every time a video goes live on this channel. Thanks again for watching, you guys. I will see you again real soon for another video.